I'm by this mural, and yeah, we outside. People say we ain't outside. This is outside, stupid. Uranium is used to build atomic bombs, destroys an enemy. Yet the Navajo tribes people work those mines, and contaminated waste on the land is what was left behind 50 years back. I'm on Grand. Yeah, I think that's crazy. You never managed to disgrace weapons to nearly knock out a race. The Soviets kept pace for fear too. When the hype died, companies left behind radioactive waste piles with thousands of mines of tribal lands and over open tunnels. This high concentrations of uranium in the drinking water, tailing piles and mills were covered, but nothing was done for the mines. The cancer rate doubled on the reservation, one nationally in decline. During this period, 1970 through 1990, genocide I know, but please remind me. They go when this yellow sand blows us, so how many people must die? It's prophets they show, and this conscience is slowed, and this sales pitch is really a lie. The people soon know as their cancer rate grows, and they cry when their clansmen die. The winds still go when this yellow sand blows us, so how many people must die? Fast forward, awkward times, companies presented groundwork for miners to resume using safer technology. They claim it's a lot. All right, where am I at? I am on Indian School, Grand, and 35th, I want to say. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Crazy railroad tracks, shitload of homeless. I might get beat up, robbed out here. Maybe. Either way, we got to check these walls out. Dirty ass train track. Fool me once, not cool, but twice we must do. Twice you're wrong, and once again it's West side. That's where we at. Winds they go when this yellow sand blows us, so how many people must die? It's prophets they show when this conscience is slowed, and this sales pitch is really a lie. People soon know as their cancer rate grows, and they cry when their clansmen die. The winds still go when this yellow sand blows us, so how many people must die? Alright. The thing should still be on. I'll just delete that other tape.
Snail piss, pissing on a snail.
Spooky dreams.
The snails even pee?
I would hope they did.
Oh, we're still recording on the phone too, huh?
No, I cut that off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't want to pick up your personal combo, but let me make sure I cut it on because I did that last time. That's a good point. And see, it is recorded. Okay. I had to make sure. Even though should it be backwards? I don't know that all that shit, man.
Question of the day: do snails pee?
I gotta find that out. I named it that because I figured they didn't. You know, it was just some human reality. We'll run a snail over on the road. Really, be honest with you, poor snails. No one gives a shit about them. Don't they eat them? When I watch this guy who does a vivarium tank, and his snails never last. So things go after him. But this snail is prevailing, you know. We are still around. I think this is episode 31. And I did one that came out blurry as fuck. And so this is officially the first one for the year. Because the one I did didn't come out. But that's coming because I know what I was talking about on that shit. But what's up, man?
Same old, you know.
It's been a minute. Mellomanic, in case y'all don't know. The applause here. What up? Keep going with the applause. Keep going. Yeah. And can I talk? Congrats.
Oh yeah.
Congrats.
My dad.
Mr. Manic got a son. This is ironic because we talked about a daughter and I told him I was bringing my son.
And that's just what happened.
Here's what happened. Exciting though.
I was your age when I had my first kid.
Yeah, it's a good age.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully by the time he's 18, I'm 40.
It made me grow up. Because before that, I was on my lush pirate phase. I like the liquids. But I can still drink the liquids, but they don't control me. Like I could drink it. Usually I drink it, it'd be like, whoa, that's much. That I won't revisit for like, who knows when. Not my thing. I like the slanted eye Southwest American thing. But now, I hadn't talked to you, and see, I told you this becomes like.
That's why we got these.
It becomes a hangout. Or it makes it look like this live audience walking by Times Square type shit. Nope, I'm in Phoenix.
That's how it is when you're famous.
So, I did a recap of top albums, and yours wasn't an album in 2024. You dropped May on Spotify. It says 2023.
Yeah.
So you call that what, an EP? What would you call that? A mixtape?
It was an EP.
The Lost Tapes, Mello Tapes.
Mello Tapes, yeah.
Mello Tapes, but it was of lost songs or unused material.
No, it was a project that was supposed to be done. So when I was writing May at the time, which was what?
You were writing May, but you also were writing Lilith, which
Lilith
became part of
yes.
it.
When I was writing that, which was like 3 years ago now, I wrote the Mello Tapes in between that. And I planned on dropping that. I was going to drop Lilith initially and then drop the Mello Tapes after. And it was going to be like, the album about women.
So there was no May, obviously.
No. But that's,
other reasons.
We've talked about this.
Right, we did.
In the podcast.
So the Mello Tapes was its own. You had your own idea for that.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be like just the darker, grittier side of it.
Which was my favorite project. I'll just say, even though it was smaller.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
You had more energy. Mm-hmm. You do your Mac Miller, or there's so many that I could do.
A lot of that project comes from like when I wrote it too at the time.
It's more artful is what I'm saying. They do more artful.
Yeah.
It becomes like kind of more like a storytelling or intricate lyrics.
I know all artists can relate to this because this happens to and anybody who at least is passionate about their music. When you're writing projects, you get very like into them. You get very just invested. And as I was invested into Lilith, a lot of people weren't working with me at the time, and I don't want to. Whatever, I'm not going to complain too much about it. But I was just frustrated at the time because I felt like I was making music alone, and I don't know, it was pissing me off. So
I had that.
Plus, it was also coming off of.
Hold on, stop right there. I had that, and I can relate. So there were times when I had projects in mind, and the musicians that I thought could fill these roles, timetable-wise, it wasn't happening like that. Did you experience that? Like things you had in mind or people you had in mind? And this isn't about complaining. It's just about schedules of communication.
A lot of what it was, I talked about it in one of our other ones, on one of our other podcasts, but about how like I had ideas for Lilith and I wanted people to come in and do a bunch of stuff, and then they all just pretty much bailed. Like all the plans I had for it. So that project, that's why it wasn't complete, because I didn't have the right amount of people for it.
Okay.
And then
how many more people were you thinking?
I was supposed to be really intricate, man.
Wow.
I was gonna have skits and like they were supposed to be like even a part.
What is this, people for the skits or
skits?
Like skit only?
No,
come
features,
for the skit, see ya.
Features, skits, like.
Nice.
I'm not gonna say any names because I don't want to call anybody out.
No, we ain't calling nobody out. It's just schedule. That's what I said.
Yeah.
In communication.
But it was frustrating, and then also I was coming off of pieces, which, didn't really get the feedback I wanted it to, which now I understand.
Do you
But
think it didn't get the feedback because it lacked a marketing push?
no, I think it didn't get the feedback because it lacked experience and time in the studio for me.
So you define success by, I noticed that, because we have different outlooks on success. You define success at this level, I'm talking, by the quality of the composition.
I mean, I just am an artist and I care about what I make. And when I don't make something that I know when I'm rushing something because I want people to hear it, compared to I'm actually putting the time and work into it and making something that I want. And I'm an impatient person. That's really what it comes down to. And so I rush a lot of my projects, and Pieces was my first one. It was the first ever thing I wanted to drop, and I was just excited for it. But this was also my early studio times. Like, this is when I was, just getting in a studio by myself and working, that it was nerve-wracking. So I didn't really know what to do, and I didn't know anything about engineers and how something should sound or anything. It was all figuring it out, but I just knew I wanted a project out. And that's what Pieces was. It just wasn't done, which is fine. It's back up on Spotify now because I can appreciate it for what it was during that time frame.
Right.
But I just know what I'm capable of. If I'm going to make an album, I know what I want to make and I know what I'm capable of making. So I like to take my time with things.
Is producing it. And a lot of people don't understand that that's production.
Yeah.
You don't just have to be the sorcerer behind the percussion.
No, but music's
you can have
crazy
other people
though.
do the percussion, and you can have someone like Dr. Dre, Kanye, from what I understand, they'll have a chorus do this idea that's in their head.
Yeah. But the thing
I wish I had different.
The thing about albums though is like it's the same with like your albums. Like when you made 50-20-20 and then and your new one, it's like these are two different projects. And when you're writing them, you have a specific idea in mind of what you want to do. So every song you're trying to execute somewhere along the lines of what you're trying to do on, what you want the album to be.
That's true.
And so it's difficult, like when
that's true.
You can't think that you can just go and write an entire album in one night based solely off of one idea. And if you want it to be right, you got to take your time.
I made a mistake, which is a lovely mistake.
Execution of Scorpions. Sorry. Don't think I messed that name up.
I made a lovely mistake to turn it year and started focusing on Concrete Wars. And then I realized, hey, production-wise, this could be done better. And so then I started fine-tuning a lot of things, either cleaning it up or redoing it altogether. And now the direction is kind of more acclimated towards my zeal. For you, what were you thinking with this piece? Go get it on Spotify, the Mello Tapes. It's a short EP, but to be, I don't know, just like kind of.
No, I mean,
it's intense.
I was pissed off. That's what it is. I was mad. That whole project is me being mad. Every song, I'm talking bad about something.
Cool. Now, don't give me names, but give me.
Yeah, we can talk. I've told you about a lot of this, and I'd rather
old friends
off camera. Yeah, a lot of it's about old friends. Okay. A lot of it's about family. A lot of it's about
old lovers.
No, not so much girls. No, a lot of it's also about Mello, like the relationship with Mello.
But you don't take. So if it's about family, you ain't taking direct shots. You expect somebody to figure out the Riddler's puzzle?
No, it's just for me to vent and complain on a song. I don't care if they hear it or not. That's not the point. I'm not even taking it so somebody
I say the Riddler's puzzle because even when he reminds me a lot of myself, different delivery, different vocabularies, different orientations, but complicated nonetheless. And so yours, even though you think you're dumbing it down, because I remember you saying, these are a lot simpler. You think so, but they're not. It's like kind of like still on the intricate end.
I guess. I mean, in my eyes, I think I write it to where, and my cousin put it kind of good. I think he said your music is.
That's
he's like
fake, by the way.
Yeah, but he said you interpret it in one way, but he's like, when I hear it, and I think a lot of people hear it, they don't interpret it, and he's like, I think that's how you write it, and that's exactly what I want. Is
that's a good point.
When you listen to it, I don't want you to say, "Oh, who's he talking about?" It's not. I didn't write it, so you could think that.
So if it was me, you wouldn't say,
"Okay, think about it." When you listen to some
stupid ass cousin. Not that I got a problem with any of my cousins. No, you wasn't.
Right, but no, not even. It's the same. It's the same thing as like if you say, let's just say, drill music is really popular right now.
Yeah.
People listen to drill music when they go slide. It's because it gets them hyped to go shoot somebody. They ain't listening to it because they care about who that dude is. Some of the fans do. I'm not saying there's your audience for it that will pick and nit at everything, but I want you to be able to listen to my songs, and you, however you choose to take those lyrics, I make them simple enough to where if I say, one of the songs in the Mello Tapes, what I say, twist another spliff, get a head lift, right?
Right.
You might just think, oh yeah, I'm smoking and getting high. Doesn't have to mean nothing.
First and last song for me. And they both had equal energy. It's funny how you started and ended that way.
Yeah, that was the point.
And well, a lot of people, they don't have a point. but so, and then the second one, the way you had this way of, I see what you mean in the studio. A lot of times you could take your voices and it helps you with your inflections. Like if you're saying, I don't really remember the words, but you had a flow that was like, da 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 da, if I had it, something like that. That kind in that last song.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of flow stands out. It reminds me a lot of when they say with pun they used to go.
Oh, you're talking about when I was like, lucid movement dummy things.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they used to say with Big Pun that he was a character in it because of his breath. And he was a bigger dude, so it was hard to get that delivery. So what they used to do is break it down in twos. Now, I've never been one of those MCs, but it sounds like you do that through the studio production. Like, I'm not saying you just do 2-bar deliveries. I'm saying it comes across to the listener as if there's a craftsmanship there.
Yeah.
Between bars.
Well, and this is what
which is a journey. It's like an audio journey.
But that's what I was trying to say, and that's what I was trying to explain from Pieces, is that I'm trying to get better with every project and every time I go in the studio.
With that audio journey.
Yeah, and even on those songs, I might go in there.
I consider the vocals part of the audio. It's just part of that wave.
I agree with
X
you.
and O.
I 100% agree. But I go in there and I might do that take like 10, 15 different times in a different way. And try it but it'll be like similar. Like I might say, go pull the whip around, but.
So pay attention to this. Do me a favor before we go more into the Mello Tapes, which you could get on Spotify, Apple. Title, what? I had a musician tell me he was everywhere. Well, wherever he is, you can find that, his stuff too. Because I think we're all everywhere if you pay this subscription price. But, so, tell them, why are you looking at your clock?
Work.
Oh, okay.
It's fine.
So, take them on a little bit of that studio journey. For musicians who don't know, like this, I met this young kid who said to me, "Hey, I've seen you now 4 times." Picked him up Ubering, and he likes Snail Piss. He likes the show, and he was telling his middle school friends about. I don't know how cool that is. I'm trying to watch my words, but not really. And so, anyway, explain to people like that, kind of your thought process, who don't know. They just really don't know. Like I saw a post on Facebook, let me see. Give me advice for other studios in the valley other than Salt Mine. So there's
I mean, here's the
some
thing.
people who don't like Salt Mine.
Right. Look, a studio is like a gun, bro. If I'm telling you, I'm never gonna tell a person what gun to buy because everybody likes different guns.
If you're a gun owner or a gun shooter, that's a profound statement.
Yeah.
And only gun enthusiasts, only they really get what he's saying. But you only can know what gun. Don't listen to other people. You gotta find out. I'm a sick boy.
Yeah, it's first and foremost, you have to just go to studios. That's the first thing. The one thing about artists is people are afraid to go in for themselves.
Why do you think so?
I think it's because social media plays such a big role in a lot of things now.
Can't you hide
but
with
look,
social media?
Look, that people think that that's all they need.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that isn't instrumental and that you can't use it. But I'm sorry, a lot of these rappers, especially a lot of the ones that have names, they were doing the shows and they were going out and meeting people and they were in those studios and they were investing in themselves. That's what you have to do. Don't be afraid to spend money. Test out studios. If a studio costs you $50 an hour, go try it. Who knows? You might like it. And it's all about relationships. It's about relationships. A lot of these people have connections that you don't have. Getting to know them is good, and getting to know them and getting along with them is good, you know? But I get it. You know, a lot of these artists, they go into these studios and they want their music to sound a certain type of way. I like Salt Mine because those guys aren't afraid to tell you, I can't do this, but I got somebody who can. And they'll find you something. And
Salt Mine isn't your first time getting
I have been through like 5 different studios.
Okay, there you go.
I've been through actual like studios with websites and buildings, and I've been through local guys who do it at their houses and apartments and done songs with them. And I've been there. I've gone there and back a few times. You know, I'm not a one and done guy. I'll give them chances. But I just found my sound at Salt Mine. And the guy that I work with, he knows what I like. And he likes a lot of the same things that I like. Shout out Cole. But
Cole from Salt Mine. Shout out Salt Mine.
As an artist,
shout out Don Salter. And you do know me.
Yeah, shout out Don too.
You know me, fool.
The biggest thing is though, is like when it comes down to being actually in a studio, is it's just taking your time, man. Like a lot of people get in there and I think it's just like, well, you know, I have 2 hours. I paid for 2 hours, so I need to get a song done. You can't be like that. Like
a lot of people go, I pay for 2 hours. I need to get 10 songs done.
No, take your time.
And
even
to
if
be honest with you, if you do 10 songs in 2 hours, you shouldn't go back to that.
I booked a 4-hour session.
What are you talking about?
I booked a 4-hour session twice, back-to-back weekends, and didn't get any songs done.
4 hours.
Got on the drawing board.
All together. Those of you who struggle with simple
had stuff on the drawing board and managed to finish one during the next session. But I put the time in. We worked. We came up with a bunch of ideas. And that's the thing. You got it. Like, that's why I love having a good engineer, because somebody that is willing to like work with you and throw ideas out with you, it's just made my music so much better. And it's made me able to open up more and have even more ideas, because you could spill these ideas to these guys and they could say, oh yeah, you know, that's awesome. Let's try it this way. Or maybe I can add this effect. And it's just awesome. It's good. I don't like having a lot of people in the studio, but I like having a room of musicians that are passionate about music and are willing to give ideas. That's another thing. Surround yourself with good people that are striving to do what you want to do, because that's going to help. And the process of making music keeps you motivated, and it's also what makes your music better. Don't be afraid of constructive criticism. It's important. It is so important. Take it.
And it's also what's wrong.
I'm
not going to say wrong. It's also what's indifferent between analog and digital. So being a part of a live band, a lot of times you start vibing and the chemistry comes from those other musicians. It's not just you. Mm-hmm. And you can have a guitar person could take over, or a drummer take over, or a bassist take over, and you don't even really have to be dominant. I was the lead singer, but you know, whoever your role is, and it was rap rock, by the way. But I can't sing. Either way, yo, what Mello's telling you, Mellomanic is
There's a lot in that. I was rambling.
Is that it pays to have a game plan and stick to it. And then also, if it's not working for you, what? That's 5 studios he told you about. So nothing against the other previous studios. Your goal is to get more comfortable.
Yeah. Or
so if you find that band of musicians, or in his case, band of engineers,
or you
musicians who come to vibe with them.
You like producing it yourself and you make your own beats. That's awesome. Do that too. I think that's sick. I have a lot of respect for the artists that do their projects fully. That's insane to me. But another thing is, all you rappers need to stop getting so sensitive when people have opinions of your music. You know, take that criticism and make it better. I'm telling you.
I want to say that's entertainers.
Even though I kind of am being a hypocrite right now because I talked about getting offended earlier. But,
right.
You know.
And that's entertainers, period. Like, you see that in sports. Some commentators say, oh, you played lousy, you suck. And then all of a sudden they're like, if I see you, I'm going to punch you in the face. You know. And so it becomes all this stuff, whereas, but if you punch me in the face and you're worth a lot of money, I'm going to get paid. You know, so however you want to look at it, I'm going to drake you out.
Everybody can rap, though. That's the thing. That's one thing. Well, yeah, anybody can rap.
Yeah.
You can. Anybody can take 2 words and make them rhyme together and make songs. Whether it's good or not doesn't mean you can't do it. That's all I'm saying. So you got to be original and unique in your craft. I try to be as much as I can, but I also take a lot of inspiration from people. And like I've told you this before, you know, Winter X Rated, I think, you know, he always tells me, I don't know why you bring that up, but that's one of the projects that molded who I am as an artist. If it wasn't for that project, I don't even think a lot of the dark aspects that I bring to my music would be there at all. You know what I mean? So I take inspiration from people. Mac Miller's another one. I think you can hear him a lot in my music.
Mac Miller.
I thought it was dope, but it's like
post-human.
We'll talk about that after.
Okay. Respect to Mac Miller.
Yeah,
definitely.
Love him. He's one of my favorite.
Speaking of back, I'm gonna pause real quick. A lot of people give him shouts like that you wouldn't even believe that knew him, and
he was very
vibe with him.
Yeah, he was very well known in the game.
He reminds me.
Loved him as an artist.
I wonder if him and Nipsey
put a lot of people on too. Just know that a lot of people that you love.
Machine Gun Kelly said that they kind of came up.
Bro, freaking a lot of people.
A lot of people though, yeah. But Machine Gun's story was interesting because he was like, they just went different paths, and then one day he saw Mac and was like, Mac said, "Yo, come blaze with me," and he was like, "Cool. I don't really smoke, but with you, I will." And then they were set to do all kind of stuff, but I guess like a lot of these musicians, it's not just hip hop. I mean, you had who's that good trumpet player? He was a heroin. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Jazz era, but so many of them died young. So many musicians, it seems, do that. Nirvana's Kurt Cobain.
But what I'm trying to say though, at the end of the day, is just that don't be afraid to take inspiration from people. I think people take like copying and like just being appreciative of it is the same thing. It's not. You know, I utilize a lot of. I'll hear stuff in songs and be like, oh, I'm definitely, you know, like I'm doing something similar to that. I like that a lot. But that's not me trying to bite it. I just appreciate the work and I can incorporate it and make it my own. I'm going to do that, you know?
Man, please. There was like a group called Smith and Wesson, and they had a broken style. They used to go, why? This is not their lyrics. I was making it up. Why the boy want to come around me? Now they see me and we in the army, right? And I did that. I didn't do it like them.
Yeah, I was gonna say. You want me to be honest? I think you're like. This is why hopefully y'all in the comments, whoever watches this, comment this down below because I've been telling them this for years. you should drop your old stuff.
Yes,
Yes, because I'm telling you, you're the perfect example of somebody that every project was different.
That's true. That I agree with.
You always switched it up.
Yeah.
And but my point is that that's what I mean when I say like inspiration. I would say Winter X Rated is probably your most like kind of random. You kind of just threw songs in there, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if you really had a clear-cut idea, but it was a lot of dark songs. I liked it.
That
but
was the idea.
If you get to like Brian the Bully, Smog Monster, those two, there's like ideas behind those projects.
Yeah.
And you came in with a theme.
Right.
And then obviously
That's
you get
true.
into the...
That's why I think that...
But even when you get into the new work...
They're more theme
But it's not the point, though. When you get into the new work, it's just... That's why I re-release Pieces. Because I didn't like Pieces. And you gave me a hard time about that, which is funny. I didn't like it. I thought it was old work. I didn't care. But
I just didn't appreciate more the compositions.
But I could appreciate it.
It seemed like random beats.
I mean, honestly, I will say I think I did a pretty good job for that in the sense of it's all kind of jazz synth like.
Sure, it follows a theme, but it just seems like it's kind of.
It is.
You could tell it's computer oriented.
Yeah, but my point is I've gotten better, and now I want people to see that. Like, you go to my SoundCloud stuff, which is that's 9 years ago.
Shadow was talking SoundCloud, yeah.
It's horrendous, but I keep it up so people could if they ever wanted to go to it, it's there.
I respect that, the fact that the SoundCloud. Definitely respect.
But it's so you could see, it's like, I worked for this. This isn't like where I'm at now, like. So
tell me, then, what was the meaning, or not the meaning, but what's the purpose, or what was your vision? There's a better way of looking at it for the Mello Tapes.
Honestly, like I said, I just wanted to show that
venting session.
It pretty much, yeah. But I mean, I started off making like dark, gritty music. That's what I did, and since I've started making projects, I don't think I've ever done much of that in any of them.
You should vent once a year, because that was hard.
A lot of that. Well, here's my thing. So I think Bob Manic's coming out February 7th.
For those who don't know, Bob Fake, Mellomanic. If you blend the two, you got Bob Manic. What? Spook Squad, yo.
Yeah, that's a lot of... It's 19 songs. It is...
I tell people all the time about the Spook Squad. They go, Spook Squad. Especially the youngsters.
Yeah, shout out Spook Squad, man. But it's over an hour long, 19 songs. I know a lot of people's attention spans aren't that great these days. But
if it's done well, it's worth it.
It's a great project. Yeah. A lot of dark songs on, a lot of gritty stuff.
Plus,
got a lot of sad stuff.
2 people doing 19 songs. To me, doesn't seem like a long project. I get the attention span of people, but at the same time, if you guys had this vibe going on, you kind of got to find it to its completion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On top of that, I got something else in the works. I might not talk too much about it. I'll talk to him about it off camera, but not too much about it to the camera yet.
Right on.
There is something coming later this year, though, too. So hopefully later this year. That's the goal.
So fatherhood, does that take you away from your usual
no
musician focus?
I mean, no, yes and no. I mean, being a dad is obviously, he's number one. My son's number one priority.
Yeah, he is. I call him folded legs. Is he still folded legs?
Ironically, right before I had my son, I was in the studio and I was talking to my engineer, and he just had a kid. Probably like a couple weeks before. But
Silent, what up?
He just had a kid, and I remember we were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, man. I might end up, getting locked down, or might not be able to be in here as much at the beginning of the year. And he was like, look, man, I just had one, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to do it, it's not going to stop you from doing it.
No.
And he's right. Now that my son's here, I could tell you that it isn't. And
I mentioned that for a reason, because redo. Because me and Pops were close. Like, he was one of the closest to me. Of all the people I know, he was really close to me. You know what I mean? It's like he was an inner part of me, your Pops. So that said, I knew you from when you were young, and you didn't want to be a musician. I think it's funny because a lot of times with children, if you introduce them, you at least open possibilities. Like I never really wanted anybody to be what I am because I see the struggle in where I underwent. I mean, it's not the same today because I don't fight promoters and
Right, but look, here's my thing. I grew up listening to a lot of music, a lot of different music too. But ultimately, I liked a lot of the slowed down, sad stuff. I
Like
ain't had
who?
nothing to talk about when I was a kid. What do I need to rap for? I didn't have a topic. I had nothing to bring to the table.
When did it come apparent that hey,
Drugs?
you did it through psychosis or
You mean when
whatever
I
that
started
mind
rapping?
transformation is?
When I started rapping?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was through drugs. It was through doing spice and friggin' developing some.
And you just got in a mind state.
It was just an
spice?
no. It was just I got it. It was a lot of people who are on drugs can relate, but it's like an alter ego you develop, and it was a bad alter ego that I developed, and I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it, and I had nobody to talk about it to.
Do you find yourself during that phase anti-religion and religious and stuff?
I've
like
never really been anti-religious. I've always just I never knew what God was, so I just never was one to question it. Really, I don't really like.
Lyrically, early you used to ridicule.
Yeah, but that's like on a like that was all based off the music I listened to. You know, a lot of dark freaking
Like who?
Eminem, like old Eminem.
No Esham or nothing like that.
I mean, all the stuff you
Brother Lynch, huh?
Well, of course, Brother Lynch, Wu Tang.
Wu Tang was dark. They were dark.
Keek the Sneak. He wasn't dark, but he was. I listened to a lot of different music. My point, but I listened to a lot of dark stuff, especially when I was around my friends. A lot of like.
Shout out to Keek.
I hung out with a lot of white boys, and they listen to a lot of punk rock too. So that's what it's all about.
Speaking of hanging out with white boys, y'all should watch the Trotsky episode where we talked to both Trotsky and Mello.
I forget I was in that one. It was like right at the end
about their experience at North High, and you also went to Coronado. What would you say to Coronado kids? Keep your head up.
Don't talk to me if you see me in public. I don't know none of y'all.
No, not your peers.
Oh.
Today's kids.
I don't know how the school is now. So I was only there for like, realistically, bro, I was there for I think I went there 52 days out of the year. I think I skipped like over 100. So don't really know. I just know I went to middle school with a lot of you guys, and we ain't really cool like that. We didn't get along, and we definitely, as adults, do not need to talk. They see me in public and they're like, hey, Soraya. Nah, we good, man.
Well, so
stay out of Scottsdale. That's my advice. Stop Scottsdale. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing around. I hope all y'all doing good, bro. Flowers to you.
Here's the thing. When do you see Bob Manic, your next project, coming to fruition?
It's done.
It's done.
It's coming out on the 7th. Trailer's already out. So we got a couple. We're working on some stuff today, actually.
Here we go.
It'll be out 1 or 2/7/25.
I'm gonna have to talk to both of y'all.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. But see, we'll talk off camera because that's a planned thing. Okay. We got something in the works. Snail Piss Bob Manic collab thing, but well, y'all don't need to know too much.
Look, I didn't know much about BM, but I met him more so at your baby shower. And it's not like I met him. I've met him before, but I didn't know him personally. And then musically, I should say, or just his character. I think Arizona is in for some surprise. I get sick of people saying that it's devoid of talent, and I also get sick of people thinking that you got to follow some kind of prescribed circuit here. It don't work. No, I did the circuit. I'm telling y'all to get out on that circuit.
No, we coming solid, man.
Not for means, just for practice.
Trust, we're getting our connections up. Trust me, we're gonna get some shows out. We got videos planned. We are out here, and this is gonna be a good year for the music and for Spook Squad, Mello, Fake. Shout out all the guys.
I like it. You know what?
It's coming. Hopefully, Shadow too.
This should have been.
If you're watching this,
Yeah, Shadow said he was. He's been working on stuff.
I hope he is. I want to hear it.
I want to see Trotsky as well. You know. But shout out, like I said earlier, the Spook Squad, and then this was supposed to be December.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
My man had a kid,
and I was in Florida,
and he helped with the disaster. It's all kind of stuff. So just stay tuned, cause we're excited about what's coming to you. AZ, yo, it should be a good year. We made it to the playoffs. Oh, speaking of playoffs, let's close with that.
Oh, we did.
What are you thinking now? Today, there's games.
What do you think I'm thinking?
Well, here's the thing. I'm so glad that we don't have a game today.
No, but
we usually press first.
Y'all know what it is.
Press first. You got a Bills fan coming over to watch the game, don't you?
Tomorrow. And I don't want to hear no bandwagon either. Gang since potty train, nigga.
So, you know, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough if the performance is lackluster, because you're going to have a hater in your back.
Go Texans, right?
Texans. Oh, yeah. Go
Texans.
Go Washington.
I'm open to whoever on that one, but I think Detroit's got that.
I got Washington.
I want to see Detroit go to the Super Bowl.
It'd be nice. I want to play them in the Super Bowl.
Who else we got? Go LA, because don't want to see Philly do nothing. Philly can get out of here.
Although I like the Reading Terminal in Philly. Yo, you get it.
I like y'all got good cheesesteaks.
Get their cheesesteaks. That's what I was going to
say. Go Baltimore.
And go be more. All right, man. 2025. Hey, what up? I just had to talk about this now. So, my neighbor told me the other day he had a kid. Then, I'm like, oh, well, yeah, kids. I hear you. As they get older, you'll realize that they basically a pain in the ass. But congratulations, which ain't really reassuring, but I don't know. It ain't my job to reassure you. But anyway, so then he's arguing with the chick, and they go crazy. And then he's on the phone today, because people treat my front patio like it's some open mic. They just voice their business out there. And he's like, I'm done, I'm leaving, fuck this bitch, fuck that. And I broke my foot. That shit just had me cracking up. They can go. I'm sure it's best for the baby. Yelling in front of a baby, not healthy.